Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fpl Yathu, whereby we give you different tips about fantasy Premier League. So today on our Fpl Yathu talk show, being our 18th episode, we're going to help you guys prepare how you can use your chips. Because we're going towards like the end of the first round. So all your chips, if you didn't use your chips, they're going to expire in game week 19. So um to begin with, we're going to look at the results of last week, and then we're going to look at the I'm going to give you differential picks, guys. You can look at, you can add in your team going into game week 17, and who you can captain. If you want to play triple captain, and which players you can have if you want to play maybe bench boost or maybe your free hit. So let's go. So beginning with last week, we had a band of matches, and it was really a good game week for, I mean, different guys. Because I know there are people who have Manchester City assets, and we know that last week those guys benefited. So the first match was Chelsea versus Everton, whereby Chelsea won 2-0. The goals, the goals, the goals were actually scored by Cole Palmer and Malo Gusto. So we know Cole Palmer is back right now, and yeah, if you want to gamble on buying Cole Palmer, I mean, it's a good choice because this week they play Newcastle United. So I always feel like that's always a good fixture for Cole Palmer. Even Pedro Neto fares well in that fixture. And then we had Liverpool versus Brighton. Liverpool won 2-0. Ekitiki back on the score sheet again. We had Burnley versus Fulham. Burnley lost 3-2 to Fulham. We had Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal won 2-1. And then we had Crystal Palace versus Manchester City, whereby Crystal Palace lost 3-0 at home. That's the match I was talking about, whereby many guys benefited from having Manchester City assets. If you had people like Foden, Ryan Cherki, Mateus Nunes, O'Reilly, their defense, Donnarumma, that was a really good fixture to have them. And Foden is still in hot form, so I advise you guys to get Phil Foden if you don't have him. And then we also had Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. Spurs lost 3-0 that game against Nottingham Forest. We had Sunderland versus Newcastle, the derby. Sunderland won 1-0. We had West Ham United versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa won 3-2. Brentford versus Leeds 1-1. And Manchester United versus Bournemouth 4-4. Just to stop on the Manchester United and Bournemouth game, this game was really a good game. I mean, for those guys who watched, it was a banger, man. Like, my new scores, Bournemouth scores, it was back and forth. And I mean, I think it's going to be one of those matches of the season contenders, because guys, it was really a good match. So how are we going to prepare for game week 17? Okay, first of all, in your goals, in goals, you can have Raya, you can have Verbruggen, or you can get Sanchez, But then looking at these two particular players, Raya or Verbruggen, get those guys. In defense, we have Julian Timber, a good pick. We have Chalobah, a good pick. We have Senesi, a really good pick too. We have Mark Gay, a good pick. So we have O'Reilly, a good pick. So you can look at those guys and then maybe pick one of those defenders. In midfield, we have Bruno Fernandes. We have Elliot Anderson for Nottingham Forest. We have Harry Wilson for Fulham. We have Yakubo Minte. We have, because these players I'm mentioning, they have good fixtures, Looking at Fernandes, if we look at Bruno Fernandes this coming week, he's going against Aston Villa, and we know the form he's in, he can score. We have Fulham, we can pick Harry Wilson, he can score against or assist against Nottingham Forest. Likewise with Anderson from Forest, who he can score or assist. We have Phil Foden in midfield. We have Ryan Check in midfield. We have David Silva in midfield. They cannot score against West Ham United because we know West Ham United has lost some key players due to what? African Cup of Nations. And then we also have Bournemouth. We know Burnley now has also lost some players to African Cup of Nations, and they are the side with the worst XG. So we can go for Bournemouth and get players like Semenyo, Tavernier. So those are some guys we can look at. And then we have Wolves and Brentford. And at Brentford we can get Shade, because he's going against what? Wolverhampton. And strikers shouldn't be a difficult choice. There's Ekitike, there's Haaland, and then there's Ekitike, there's Haaland, and then there's Igor Thiago. These are the three strikers that I'm telling you guys to go with this week if you want to score a lot of points. And if you want to reach 100 points, pick out players from the groups that I've mentioned. You should pick out those players from that groups that I've mentioned. If you're doing a bench boost, you can pick all those players that I mentioned. I guarantee you to get a lot of points this game week. So going into game week 17, who do I captain? I myself am captaining Erling Haaland. If you're playing triple captain or you just want to captain Haaland. But then besides captain Haaland, there's Phil Foden. You can also captain Phil Foden. Foden is in great form right now. Besides from captain Phil Foden, you can also go for Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo is actually going against Burnley, and I mean you can have him for these two fixtures because he has Burnley, and then after Burnley in game week 18, he has Brentford. So I really feel like these are games whereby Antoine Semenyo can actually score. So let's go for what? Let's go for these guys as our captains. So now going into the fixtures. Match week 17, we have Newcastle versus Chelsea, early kickoff at 2:30 tomorrow. We have Bournemouth versus Burnley at 5 o'clock. We have Brighton versus Sunderland at 5 o'clock. Manchester City versus West Ham United at 5 o'clock. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brentford at 5 o'clock. Spurs versus Liverpool at 7:30. Everton versus Arsenal at 10 o'clock. And then we have Leeds versus Crystal Palace at 10 o'clock too. And then going into Sunday, we have Aston Villa versus Manchester United. That's at 6:30. And then on Monday, we have Fulham versus Nottingham Forest, whereby that's going to be our last match. It's going to be at 10. So, guys, this is how you're going to prepare with me in your fantasy in game week 17. And mind you, this is our last episode this year, 2025, because we're going into Christmas, and the next episode might be a crash program, or we might be back in studio. Might be back in the studio next year. But then a piece of advice that I can tell you guys to prepare is that make a plan for game week 17, 18, 19, and 220, because these four game weeks, right? They can determine, like, these 3 game weeks, they can determine you a good place for you. Let me say in your mini league, or maybe in the top 100 or of the world, top 1000, whatever number you are right now. If you played good in the next 5 game weeks, trust me, you can get good points. And don't forget too that African players are going to play African Cup of Nations. So if you know that you have African players, it's time that you sell them. And if you know that some team is going against the team that has lost like many African players, I think it's good to get assets from that team. So that's all I had for you guys. That's all I had for you, for all you guys in game week 17. I hope you guys prepare well. I wish you all the best. Have a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. See you guys next year. And Fpl Yathu, just know that I'm still first in the league, and we're going to post the table next year, and also I'm going to also drop you the table how it's looking like, by today, end of this year. So thank you very much. You're with me, your boy Zwelichi Nizande. Till next time.